Hispanics are chancla nations. We love flip-flops, all sorts. Doesn't matter what it is. Look at Pucho. Pucho had flip-flops since he was in the 10th grade. The same ones, paper-thin bottoms. Things are disintegrating as he steps. Like,
what are you talking about?
Your little thong flip-flops that you used to rock all the way. Those things was disintegrating. With every step, pieces would be falling apart. It's just, flip-flops ain't going nowhere. I don't think me wearing Jordans at an older age will go anywhere either.
I don't know what this story about these flip-flops you're inventing is. Since the 10th grade, what are you even talking about?
For our last topic of the day, ladies and gentlemen, at what age do you tend to change your fashionable stance or you change your clothing line? Should old people continuously wear Jordan or any type of Nike shoes, any young person fashion? What's the age gap that you should start saying, okay, time to wear these zapatos, how Doughboy would say?
Zapatos. I've never heard somebody.
That's what he said today earlier.
That is what he said.
And, just stick to your age group of clothing line. I'm going to tell you flat out, I don't think there should be an age gap, but.
And also, this kind of goes with age ain't nothing but a number, right? We could kind of add that in there. Some people say age ain't nothing but a number. And some of those people might have arrested development, but.
And we're talking about clothing here, too, when it says age ain't nothing but a number.
But I also think it's a mind frame. I think when you see a 50, 60-year-old Puerto Rican man and he's still wearing Jordans and fucking just trying to be that version of like 50 Cent from 2005, I think it's like you're holding on to something and you just got to let it go. You're old now. You got to put on some man clothes, okay? Some old man clothes.
I don't think any of that's true. I think you should be able to. Okay.
How do you feel about the mothers wearing sexy clothes?
That's what I was just about to say. You can flip it into that, but then that would sound sexist because then I guess as an older man, I don't even know. No, matter of fact, no. I think you should be able to wear.
Bro, if my grandma was rocking
a two-piece.
The like just you know how the chicks nowadays they be rocking just the under boob shirts. It's like if my grandmother was wearing shit like that, I'd be like, yeah, you're playing a young person's game right now. Like
titty's about to fall out, grandma. I can't.
Probably out if it's that low. If it's that low, it's like I think we need to alter the clothing arrangements that we got going on. Like I don't know. I don't. I think there's certain things that are more passable than others. Like, I don't know, like an older person still wearing like Jordans and stuff like that. Like, you know, it ain't that serious, but it does look a little funny. Like we are a unique generation of people. Like, just like imagine when you see that 70-year-old man with the jeans that are all like ripped with holes in it, you're gonna find that shit funny, like, because it just we haven't lived with a group of people that dress like that yet. You know, we're not old enough yet, but like our older brothers and our cousins and things, uncles and stuff like that, they may be, and it'll be interesting to see it. Maybe these opinions will change, but I would find it funny. Like I could picture like. I got cousins and family members that really are into their shoes and their clothes and all that type of stuff. And I'm like, I could picture certain people in my family being old as hell on the sneakers app trying to hit the latest pair. You know what I mean? Like, I could picture it, but it'll be funny to me. Like, I don't know.
Imagine zapatos.com. got them new zaps. Yo.
I'm not gonna lie. I've seen, when it comes to older guys, even, you know, like looking at them now, it be Cuban guys in Miami that wear the ripped pants that are super tight with the dad's hat, super glitter shirt, bedazzled, whatever you want to say. And I look at it and I do find it strange. But it's only because they're going hard at it. Like they're making it a statement. I think if the regular old grandpa comes around or your old uncle comes around and he's got some Jordan 1 lows with some pants and a shirt, I don't find that odd. Do I find it odd that grandma comes around in a 2-piece thong bikini? Yeah. Grandma, what are you doing? Like, think you need to change that up a little bit. No one's trying to see that.
You want to know something crazy?
Ain't nobody trying to. Your granddad probably trying to see that.
Yeah,
Facts.
baby.
You know, the guy who beat up 6ix9ine that's in Palm Beach, somehow I ended up with his wife as a friend. They got married. Yo, this guy's ancient. He's like 50s or in his 60s. The guy who went to go beat up 6ix9ine, he went with a younger guy and then the little kid who was recording. And this dude is like ancient, bro, on some gang banging shit, on some Latin King shit. And I'm like, I guess we gang banging forever now. This nigga is like a grown ass man. I'm like, bro, this is the most hilarious shit ever.
It's a life for people though. People who are, and like growing up in the streets and stuff like that. That's all they know.
There was a GoFundMe. Nobody was donating shit for his fucking legal fees. And they're like, that's crazy. He took care of a rat and nobody's taking care of him. And they were like, yo, the Bloods called up. They said that they were going to donate because he did such an honorable thing. And I'm like, so stupid. I was like, bro, how are people like 40, 50 years old? That shit is just weird to me. Like Whack 100, this old ass man who's just like, I'm a blood, I'm rich, and he's still, I got more money than you. And I'm like, God damn, dude. Maybe it's a part of the game. But for me, it's like annoying.
So would that classify as an age don't matter thing for them?
I think it has relevancy in this topic. I think the reason why people continue to behave like a young version of themselves is because they feel like no matter how old they get, you know what I mean, they still feel young. And I get that.
So,
but I think the way you present yourself to the world is important.
Do you think that when it comes to like age and stuff, not just clothing and not just the way you act, but generally speaking, like some people would say, oh, you're too old to just be playing video games, or you're too old to be staying out late at night drinking with your friends and all this. What if all my friends are 40, 50-year-olds with me? Like, is that really an age gap on that? Can you put an age limit? Like, we're fucking 55 years old and we're still playing video games.
I think that's going to be a reality.
But I'm saying, is that a bad thing?
I think people may look at us like, I think we may get looked at like that's just corny. Like these old ass men are still playing video games. But I got to be honest, it's like, for me, it's like watching movies. We don't criticize people for watching movies. You're just watching a movie. And I think it's more,
that's a little different.
More like that for me. It's like people have hobbies and stuff like that. What I do find is that people have less and less good hobbies nowadays. Everybody's just on their phone and they call that like a hobby. And I'm like, that's not a fucking hobby.
I hate is that I see these parents on their TikToks with their kids doing the young kid TikTok things. And I just be looking like, like, nah, you definitely shouldn't be doing that. And then on top of that, the real flip to this, the young kids trying to act like adults.
That's always been a thing.
Yeah,
like, you don't remember when we were 13? You don't remember when we had those little candy cigarettes? Fucking that shit wasn't smoking, but we were thinking we were smoking.
I never did that wave. But no, I never did that. But
you've never eaten the candy cigarettes?
I've eaten it, but I never tried to think I'm smoking that gas.
Yes, no, I haven't.
Everybody did it. I haven't.
Everybody did what?
The little cigarette candies.
Cigarette
candy. Just think of smoking, like if it was real smoking.
I've seen Tony going like this to a pack of Smarties so he could go and get one puff of
bro,
dust
this
off
is
the
insane.
Smarties, bro.
This is insane. allegations out of here, bro.
That boy said, one puff. That says all you're getting out of the Smarties.
That's crazy.
I think that's a bigger problem. It's like little kids thinking that they're grown. And maybe they are grown now because they have more information. But this shit is sickening, if
Bro,
you ask me.
There was a TikTok of this lady or not this lady, but the daughter of this lady that I know. And her daughter's probably like 10 years old, maybe 13. She's got like this hoochie top on with the pants like undone, trying to do dances and stuff. And I'm like, yo, if that was my daughter, man, bow, what you doing? Like,
But you don't feel like I feel like for sometimes we think of this in the wrong way. And I feel like the same way. I'm like, who's creating this sexy clothes for kids? Where are these people? And why are they creating these sexy clothes for kids? And maybe I'm wrong for saying the word sexy. Maybe I'm sexualizing their clothes, right? Maybe that's what's happening. But I have been at water parks. And I've seen very young children with like string bikinis, and I'm like, "What's going on here?" I'm like, "This shit is
you're not
just
sexualizing it.
Shit is just unacceptable." And maybe I'm wrong for that because I'm sexualizing people's bodies, but I do feel like there's this weird. It's just, I don't know. For one, why people do it, but I guess clothing is clothing, and maybe I'm the problem that I'm viewing all of this in that way. But I do think that there is an issue with young.
I don't think so, because like I think society has deemed certain clothes to just be sexual, and when you see children doing that stuff, it makes you uncomfortable because you're like, exactly. Why is this kid acting in a manner that I would think is like an adult? Like, for example, we've all seen women that will wear like a G-string in such a way where you can see that they're wearing a G-string, right?
Yep.
Imagine you saw like a 5th grade girl dressed like that. That shit would be astonishing. You'd be like, what is this? Like, I don't think that would be you necessarily being the one that's sexualizing that person. I think it's like, I think obviously there's some balance there, of course, but I feel like kids doing things that seem adult like is what's troubling, at least for me. Like, I mean, a kid in a 2-piece bikini, I mean, I don't care. That seems fine. But, like, yeah, we've all seen the bikinis that are, like, just like a vertical slit that all it does is cover the nipple. If you saw, like, a 13-year-old girl like that's going to be like, dude, like, I think you're doing too much. Yeah. You're too young to be doing these things, all right?
It should be on the parents, though. I mean, if they're doing it, that means the parents think it's okay. Like, I don't think there should be a reason why she should have this small-ass top and then her pants, like, unbuckled and folded downwards just to show that top part of the, whatever. I think that's super inappropriate. Like, and then you're posting it online on top of that. Like, because But
that's the world they live in now.
I think that's the world their parents let them live in. I don't think that's...
I don't think you can escape it nowadays, bro. I think these kids are getting phones earlier and earlier and earlier, and they're learning about the world and life earlier and earlier and earlier. And I think you're gonna see a lot of kids that are gonna be exposed to stuff, and then they're gonna try to be older than they are. But you don't agree that that's always been a thing, even in middle school, high school. There's always,
to a certain degree, yeah, that was a thing.
We always wanted to be older. We always wanted to be grown. Or I can't wait till I'm 18. I can't wait till I'm 21. This shit is not as cracked up as it is to be, bro.
Yeah.
I constantly tell little children, kids, and teenagers, I'm like, yo, just be a kid, bro. Just be happy being a kid. Just thank the God that you don't have to go to work every day.
Yeah, facts. Well, yeah, no, I honestly think that there's a way to handle that. You know what I mean? Like, age age gap between kids, adults, and old people. Yeah, there is certain limits that certain people shouldn't do or shouldn't wear, but I mean, I'll be 50 years old, probably buying some Jordans. Yeah, I mean, I
You're
don't
gonna be
think
wearing
that's
your the Yeezy slides.
if they have them. Yeah, I'll be an old man wearing chanclas. Yo, there be mad body old people wearing chanclas. That's just how it is. Hispanics are chancla nations. We love flip flops, all sorts. Doesn't matter what it is. Look at Pucho. Pucho had flip flops since he was in the 10th grade. The same ones, paper thin bottoms. Things are disintegrating as he steps. Like he had them for the longest. He
What are
got
you talking about?
your little thong flip flops that you used to rock all the way. Those things was disintegrating. With every step, pieces would be falling apart. It's just flip flops ain't going nowhere. I don't think me wearing Jordans at an older age will go anywhere either.
I
How
don't
do
know
you
what this
feel-
story about these flip flops you're inventing is. Since
How do
the
you feel-
10th grade, what are you even talking about?
You had flip flops for the longest period of time, Pucho. These flip flops were like from when you're probably in high school all the way till like you were in Orlando.
I never even owned a pair of flip flops in high school.
Okay, whatever. You had flip flops for such a long period of time that they literally broke on you, and they were just withered down to like bare minimum of fabric. Just saying.
Nah.
How do you feel about the long hair game? Is it especially when you get older, is it a young man's game? Or is it old man with long hair cool?
If they have a hairline for it, God bless them.
Usually they don't. And when they get older.
Time to let it go. I don't think you should. If you're old and you're balding, I think you should just go bald 100%. What? Why hold on? I talk about that all the time. Why? What are you holding on to? My dad be like, nothing. I just cut it. Just go bald.
Yeah, but your dad has the dad haircut.
Bro, the man's bald like this.
I know, like I know, and then he just grows on the sides.
He needs
That's
to
like
get rid of that. There's
the dad haircut.
That's for
that
dicks.
signifies from very far away that he is A, married, and B, a dad. All right.
No way.
Just pretty sure, yeah.
Like, could you imagine at 55 years old, Pucho says, I'm not doing this bald thing. I'm just doing the side growth. Like, get the fuck
bro.
out of here, bro.
Imagine your dad going to go get a shape up every haircut, and your dad comes back lined up. That shit would look weird, right?
That shit would look so weird.
I don't know. I think the long hair. I'm bald, all right? Largely by choice, all right? This is the pandemic haircut. I had an afro in the middle of the pandemic, and I was like, let me just shave this head bald. I do think the long hair is a young man's game. I think seeing 50, 60-year-old dudes with long ass dreads and stuff, if it looks good, rock out by all means. But I think the amount of effort it takes to maintain like a good looking hair when it's long, I think that's young man's energy. If you could do it in old age, more power to you. But you probably shouldn't do it because you ain't gonna pull it off.
What about that guy that your mom used to know, her friend in Lake Worth, that Chinese guy, or was he Asian? I don't know what, but he had the longest hair.
Oh yeah.
That didn't look weird to us,
Mr.
right?
Wang Ping.
Oh, Pantera.
Pantera.
Did that hair look weird to you? He was definitely in his 50s, 60s, probably, right?
He was what I would call a pure dick. Right? Right?
He'll whip his hair off.
So never was more happy when my friend Mookie punched that man in the face. I was like,
what?
Yes.
I never knew this.
Yeah, my mom this is like super
Long
inside,
time
but
ago,
yeah, long time ago. My mom had this boyfriend, super fucked up asshole. He and her were fighting in the alleyway behind my house because I guess my mom didn't want us to hear or see anything. And my friend Mookie was in the other side of the alley across the street with his friends. And then I guess they were making sure my mom was all right. They kind of started looking over. And then the Asian man, Mr. Wang Peng, looked over there and said, "Hey, what are you N-words looking at?" But like the bad N-word. Yeah. And then Mookie was like, "Oh, I'll give you an N-word." And they took turns punching him in the face because this guy, he was like Homer Simpson, bro. You punch him in the face, he'd go down and he'd come right back. So they all took turns just knocking him to the ground with punches, and he just kept getting back up. But yeah,
that's crazy.
That was
Yeah, Homer Simpson, I think he beat Mike Tyson in the fight.
Yeah.
Purely on how much punishment he could take. So
shit's crazy.
Shout out to Wang Peng.
Wait, yeah. Wang Peng. It's a terrible name. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, if you stuck with us through this entirety of this beautiful episode, hit that subscribe button. Share, like, and follow. And don't forget, always go one up yourself. Peace.
Look, guys, I'm John Moran.